So many golfers don't feel fully confident out of bunkers, and there are a couple of reasons for that. Obviously, it's a different kind of swing, different kind of stance. You have to approach these shots differently than any other golf shot on the course. But the other issue, and one that we can really work on, is a lot of people just don't practice sand bunker shots. It may be because you don't really have the time for it, or it might simply because you don't know how to do so. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you 3 drills that I love to do in succession to make it a full practice session out of the sand bunkers. And if you're able to consistently do this routine, consistently do these 3 drills, then I think you're going to have a really good shot at improving out of the sand when you're around the green. So the first thing I'm doing here is raking out the sand a little bit. What a lot of people do is they'll walk up to a practice bunker and see that it's not in perfect shape, and then they'll just move on. But if you have decent dirt in there and it's just a little bit matted down, just feel free to get the rake and spend some time, just 30 seconds grooming it out a little bit. So you see to the left of me, that's not a great looking bunker, but right where I'm hitting the balls, the sand is in pretty good shape because I took the time, pretty simple, I took the time to manicure it a little bit. So the first drill we're going to be doing is a very simple one. It's probably a drill that you've seen plenty of if you consume instructional content over social media or digital media in any way. It's a simple line drill. So you're just going to draw a straight line, and then you're going to work on making proper impact in accordance to that line. So what I like to do is have the line be the exact point where I want the club to begin entering the sand, and then just go through those reps, making sure that the lowest point of your golf swing is right around where that line is. Now this is going to help with low point control, which is important on any golf swing, but it is especially important on sand bunker shots. If that low point is just a little bit too far back, your club can really get stuck in the sand, and instead of hitting it a little bit fat in the sand, it really accentuates that miss, and you may just chunk the ball a foot ahead of you. So go through a couple of these swings with the line. What I like to do is do them in pretty quick succession, and that's more of a tempo play, if anything else. Just work on really feeling that tempo, feeling those hands bottom out at the same point each time. Then once you're done with those phantom swings, you're going to put 3 balls directly on that line, and you can take a little bit more time between these shots. But it's very important that you're going through a pre-shot routine and you're committing to all of these golf shots. In practice, you should be practicing how you would want to play on the golf course. So look over the shot, visualize the type of shot. Maybe if you have any rehearsal swings or any type of mechanics that you want to go through, commit to those and then step up to the ball. Take your time between each shot. Oftentimes people will just go rapid fire when they practice. You don't want to do that. Look at the line, feel that low point, and accelerate through the ball. Now in this drill, you can really see the good shots with the impact positioning, but what's also important is you can see the bad ones. So right there, I'm looking down because that last shot I thinned over the green, and sure enough, that low point was a little bit after the line. So I caught too much ball and not enough sand. When there's no sand between the club face and the ball, it tends to really jump off a little bit. So by using that line, I was able to see that issue and then get a little bit steeper in this next swing. And actually, I chunked that one a little bit. I didn't get enough of it. I got too much sand. So in using this line drill, you can really be conscious of where that bottom point is and notice those issues. Now, whenever you're doing a practice session, you're going to be hitting bad shots. You're going to be working on new things. Things will feel a little bit experimental at times. So it's very important to, keep a positive mindset. You're going to hit bad ones, learn from them. Don't see them as a defeat. There's no getting better if you're not trying new things, hitting bad shots, and then learning what that bad shot is telling you in order to be better. Now, before we move on to the second drill, I want to talk to you real quick about the Core Golf app. Whenever I want to practice, whenever I want to improve, I go into the Core Golf app and I scroll through their long list of drills and I find specific areas that I want to work on. So I scroll to the bottom of the short game category and I found several great drills that you can do out of the sand in order to improve. So the line in the sand drill, we have the plug lies drill, which we'll be going over in a little bit. But you just click on a drill, you go through the description. Each drill has a video that'll explain it, and you can start drill. And now, just recently, you can start drill and record a video, which is an excellent way to really dial in visually as well as quantitatively, because in the app you can take different stats down. So it's a great feature that I recommend anyone using. And now is the best time to download the app and get your subscription, because if you use the link in bio and use code code SGT15, you can actually get 15% off your yearly subscription if you are looking to get better at golf. If you're looking to make conscious improvements, lower that handicap, and you're committed to it, the Core Golf app is an excellent resource, especially for those of you working on your game in the off season. Again, that's code SGT15 at the link in the description to get 15% off your yearly subscription to the Core Golf app. Thank you so much to the Core Golf app for sponsoring this segment of the video. All right, now let's dive into the second drill here. This is the plugged lie drill, which is something that we often experience on the golf course, and we don't really practice that much. So as you can see there, I take a ball and I simply just step on it. I like to have about half of the ball, maybe slightly less than half of the ball underground essentially, and all you're doing is just getting comfortable over these plugged lie shots. So not playing it like a splash shot. I play these a little bit steep, really close down the club face, and just blast right into the ground and get the ball out. So a couple of important things to note here. The first one is, if you're hitting this shot and you're getting it out of the bunker, that's a good shot. Plugged lies aren't meant to be hit to 3 feet. Occasionally we'll see that on the tour, but the goal here is to get yourself out of the sand, out of that tricky lie. So just commit to a nice, balanced golf swing, get a little bit of acceleration, and you definitely want to get a little bit of forward shaft lean. You need to be aggressive through the ball. You can't have these soft hands and hit these buttery cuts. A big thing for me that I know I need to focus on is keeping that club face square and accelerating into the ball and into the ground. So as you could see there, that one got out. It was a fine shot, but it could have gone a little bit further up. That's because I didn't accelerate enough through the ball. Again, it's a fine shot as long as you're out of there, but make sure that you're keeping that club face square. As a right-handed golfer, I like to feel my right hand and my right palm just be a little bit more active through the ball here. And I'd venture to say that a lot of golfers at home really aren't spending a ton of time trying to get out of these plugged lies. So just by standing up here and going through several different plugged lies, it's just going to make you more comfortable over the ball. At the end of the day, if you're just working on general fluidity, not being too mechanically focused, but just being more comfortable hitting out of these plugged lies, the next time you're on the golf course and you stand up to one, you're not going to think, oh my gosh, what do I do here? I haven't been in this situation in months. You're going to think back to your practice, and you're going to say, hey, I had 10 of these on my Core Golf app a couple of weeks ago, and I hit 9 of them out of the bunker, and a couple of them were pretty close. They're pretty good golf shots. So it's very important to have that kind of practice that you can draw on. So now that we've gone over a little bit of drill work with that line in the sand drill, as well as some unique shots to get us a little bit more comfortable out of the sand with plugged lies, we're going to be going over a 20% drill, which is essentially playing from the different positions in a greenside bunker, hitting several shots, and noting how many of those shots finish inside 20% of the distance of the hole. So if you have a 20-yard bunker shot, your end goal would be to get a ball inside of 2 yards or 6 feet of that bunker shot. Now, in this video, for the sake of demonstration, I'm only going to be hitting out of this one spot because I didn't have a great bunker. You can adjust to different bunkers if you can rake them a little bit, but for the sake of video, I'm going to be hitting out of one, but this is when you're really outcome focused. And I don't want to say outcome focused in the sense of, oh, hey, I hit that one to 10 feet. That was a really bad golf shot. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you need to be focused on how the ball is interacting with the green. Out of bunkers, you're going to get a lot more spin around the greens than you do with any golf shot, right? So for me, I come through my bunker shots pretty steep. And sometimes when I try and hit it high and I open up that face, I come through even more steep. And the result is a lot of side spin. The ball will, land a little bit left, and it'll really dart right if I put a good golf swing on it and I make good contact. So being focused on how that ball interacts, because it's so different, is a very important takeaway in this section of practice. And obviously we're going to be doing the quantitative aspect through the Core Golf app, which is when we're going to be saying, all right, with this 20% bunker drill, I hit 12 shots, only 2 of them got inside of 20%. How should I be, maybe changing things up a little bit? If you go a few weeks playing these splash shots in your Core Golf app and marking down your progress, and you're not seeing much progress in your practice on the app, as well as not really seeing the outcomes you want to see on the golf course, then maybe you got to look at these outcomes and say, I'm just not consistent enough with a high splash shot with a 60 degree. Maybe I turn to my 56 and I hit something a little bit lower. Maybe you turn to a 50 or a 52 and almost hit a chunk and run golf shot. There's several different ways to hit your bunker shots, and there is never a right answer. Obviously, there's certain positions where you're going to need to hit one really high and you're going to have to spin it a little bit. If you're a bit short-sighted, you don't have much green to work with, that's fine. But you're also going to have options where the pin's going to be far away and you can chunk and run. So it's all about being versatile, and I think that this practice plan through the Core Golf app is an excellent way to do it. Again, top link in the description, SGT15 as the code will get you 15% off your yearly subscription. If you have any questions or comments on this bunker tutorial or this bunker practice session, please leave them in the comment section down below. As always, thank you all very much for watching. Play well and take care.